It is 7 o'clock. Hey, LinkedIn. Hello, Facebook. Hi, this is Linda Murray Bullard. You are on the Business Plugs Mixer, and tonight we're going to be talking about brain science selling. So, if you are a business owner and you want to know how can I get more sales, we're going to talk about that in depth. I got my girl on here. She's going to tell you all the way from Manila how to get your business in order here in the States. So, we're going to talk about that. But first, let me invite you to Friday. Excuse me, I keep saying Friday, and it's actually Saturday. So Saturday, we're opening up the Boss on Brainer. That is Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We're open up the Boston Brainer for a grand introduction. And let me tell you, if you've never been to a grand introduction, this is pretty much us asking you for your feedback and then you experiencing our vision. So we're going to talk about our vision. We're going to show you the building. We're going to show you what's already there. And then by the time we open on August 1st, we're going to have all the amenities that you say that are important to you because we want business owners, we want them to find a Boss on Brain as the destination place in order to do co-work or hold your meeting or rent the conference room or hold your event. So that's coming up this Saturday, 3529 Brainerd Road here in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The zip code is 37411. I was gonna give you my home. I was gonna give you my home zip code. 37411. So it's 3529 Brainerd Road in Chattanooga, Tennessee. We're doing the grand introduction. That's what we're telling about the concept, inviting all business owners. It's called Boss on Brainer, and the BOSS stands for Business Owners, Services, and Social. So this is co-work with a little twist. We have a pool table, y'all. We have pool table, dart games. We have everything that you're going to need in order to get some downtime while you learn how to build your business. We are all about empowering business here. This is the first one on the other side of the Missionary Ridge. So we're on the other side of the tunnel, right outside the tunnel, really, within a couple of blocks. And we're going to be doing Boss on Brainerd Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Come join us. And with that done, I also need to tell you that on the 24th, on May the 24th, is the next class of the Building Your Own Business 12-week course. And that starts at Boss on Brainerd. We're going to do live and online classes to teach you with dicing up segments of business ownership, to teach you how to do your business right. So we're talking about structure. We're talking about your systems. We're talking about marketing and sales and distribution channels and customer service and how to get your product to, how to find your target audience. We're talking about all of that. It's a whole 12 weeks to introduce you to business ownership. But my girl is going to take you even deeper. So let's say you already have your business up and running. And you already know you have the right systems in place, you're structured right, you know your distribution channels. Now you need to know how to find your customers. That's where Valerie comes in. So, hey, Valerie, how are you?
Hello, I am on the other side of the Pacific. So
I
it
know.
is actually, so you can see the sunlight from my window coming in. Yes, and while it's cool to be able to speak to you, and we were talking earlier, it's evening there and it's morning here. I'm a day ahead, and I'm just starting my day. I'm so excited to share and talk to you all.
I love it. I love it. So it is 7 a.m.
Yes.
in Manila. Like we're 12 hours different.
Yeah.
That is funny. That is funny. So halfway around the world is where you are. So yeah. So exactly. Exactly. So tell us about yourself. So tell us what your story is.
Okay. So my name is Valarie Fischer. I live in Manila. This business of mine, actually my personal brand, started last year. And I love telling my backstory because I believe that it helps people when they go through struggles. Because my whole life I was in advertising, I was in marketing, and I was very ambitious. I wanted to be the chief marketing officer. When you're in marketing and sales, that's what you aim for. And I got that last year. I was actually able to get there. But because of COVID, I was part of the 5 million people who lost their jobs.
Mm.
And of course, who wouldn't be ashamed? Because it was pride, and it was my ego. I didn't want to show myself on Facebook. I wanted to deactivate my account. I was so ashamed. But then I realized, some things are just not meant. The universe, or something bigger than us, something the bigger than me, was redirecting me someplace else. And
Absolutely.
I like telling that story because sometimes we are so focused on the thing that went bad, the
Hmm.
thing that went bad, that we forget to frame it in a way and say, maybe it wasn't really meant to be. Maybe,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
for me, it led me to my purpose. So
Hmm.
my dream, or the dream that I thought I had, I lost that, but it led me to my purpose, which I think is a bigger thing. It's
Absolutely.
bigger,
Absolutely.
it's a bigger accomplishment for me, and that this is why I'm doing training. I'm doing coach consulting right now. Whatever strategies that I wanted to share with my boss at that time was meant for a bigger market. It was
Absolutely.
meant for you. I am meant to be here talking to you and sharing my story, and sharing what I know. So that's my backstory. So anyone out there who, I mean, we a lot of people lost their jobs, but when you really focus your attention on the things that you can control, the things that you can just set your mindset on, it will open
Absolutely.
doors and windows and the whole houses.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is such a great story. That is such a great story because a lot of times we get stuck in the downside of life, right? Because I can relate to you. I was 26 years on the job when I lost my first one. And so, but when they downsize or right size, as some of them call it, then what are you to do? You have to pick yourself up. And I took a month off to lick my wounds, but then you have to jump back into the game because you can't just, let that one situation define who you are or what you're capable of doing. It had nothing to do with that. People right size all the time. Has nothing to do with whether you can do what you're supposed to do in your life. And so sometimes, like you said, I love that you said it was a redirection. It was a redirection. So tell us about that redirection. What did that look like? Like walk us through the timeline of what you incurred.
Okay, so I got fired, and then I resigned. It was mutual. That was April 4th. So I just actually celebrated that redirection anniversary last month, April 4th, and then April 23. So this was really quick. April 23 was when I started getting paid for my trainings.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
yeah, so it really was, how many in just weeks in between, because actually prior to April 4th, I was already sharing my ideas and information about businesses. My friends were asking me for help, like former colleagues were asking me for help. Val, can you help my business? How do I transition online? How do I sell on Facebook? How do I sell on Instagram? And I was just giving those the advice, the trainings for free. I was like training 100 people for free while I was doing my job. So when I lost my job, I'm like, maybe this is something that I should focus on. Maybe all of these people coming to me, I have something to share. um,
Absolutely.
like you, I lick my wounds because I believe in feeling. We have a
Mhm.
right to how we feel. So I lick my wounds. I disappeared for a while, but then when a friend of mine said, "Do you know of anyone who can help us? Who can help me train my team, my sales team?" And I gave him like recommendations and suggestions, but the people that I was recommending didn't really have, they're speakers, they're coaches, they're trainers, but they don't have experience online.
Mm.
They were used to speaking in big crowds. And so
Hmm.
I want somebody who knows how to sell online as a speaker, and as somebody with experience. And I said, you know what, um I can do that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I said,
Absolutely.
do you want me to do that? So also at that moment, I realized we have to ask for things. It
Absolutely.
just fall on your lap. So I asked my friend, I said, do you want me to do that for you? Because I think I can do that. So that's what started it all. And the brain science selling that I will talk about in a short while. That's when it started. That's when I realized, when you really look, when you really know, okay, when you really know your customer, your clients, like for me, the people who were asking me for help, then you actually have better chances of selling to them without even selling. Because
Mm-hmm.
really, at the end of it, I think that that's also a mindset shift that we need to change moving forward. It's really not selling; it's serving. It's
Exactly.
knowing how to serve your market. So when we started that, I know who they are. I know who they how they think. So that's
Mm-hmm.
the brain science part. So it's understanding myself and understanding my clients, my customers. They're part of the real estate industry, which I used to be part of, and I know how competitive they are. So if you're a part of the real estate or insurance or network marketing, these people are very competitive. So what I did, so just it's also part of the brain science selling. It's actually social proof. I tagged them, so I said, "This is my first training," and then Zoom fees were so in trend last year. Do you remember, like all of
Exactly.
your photos in one? So I tagged all of them, and that actually became free advertising for me. And free advertising, and then people who were their friends, who were also their competitors, saw that I started training and they know me, so they all started asking. Like, I used to have trainings 3 or 4 times a day, because that was the time when everybody was at home and they
Yeah.
didn't know what to do, and I grabbed the opportunity. I just grabbed it. It was like a superhero costume waiting for me to put on.
Exactly. Exactly. And so you have a number of how many, like in that little segment of time, how many live paid performances did you have?
um when I counted the first time, actually I didn't really realize it. February was 178, but when I ended my first year in business, it was 190. One
100 live paid events in
Yes,
1 year. In
in
one
one
year.
year. My
That is
first year.
amazing. That is amazing. That is amazing. So I'm sure there are people out there that want to get into the speakers game. So they need to contact you for that in addition to the brain science, right? So yeah, and what topics did you mostly speak on?
Well, the first one was Facebook, because it was low hanging fruit. Everybody has a Facebook account. They just didn't know how to use it,
Uh-huh.
and everybody was on Facebook. In the Philippines, there's 109 109 Filipinos 109 Filipinos in total. 57 million of them are on Facebook every day. Every day. So I had to teach them how to reach that market. But
Mm-hmm.
again, using the brain science selling, using that concept of understanding your market, understanding yourself and your brand before you can actually reach out. Because what are you going to say to them? What are you going to say to the 57 million people who are online every day if you don't try to understand them? So
Absolutely.
that was my first. And my blockbuster my blockbuster course was actually neuro linguistic programming. So that's NLP and copywriting. There are many courses about copywriting out
Mhm.
there, but this is I haven't really checked, but it's something that I created. So
Okay.
I the neuro linguistic programming techniques and use those for copywriting. So say for example, an NLP one of the NLP concepts is a pattern interrupt. A pattern interrupt is our brains are brain's lazy. Our brain is lazy. When you have patterns, programs that you're already doing, your brain will immediately say, "Oh, okay." It will take for granted. For example, you're a real estate seller, so of course you will be putting photos of the houses that you're selling, the amenities, etc. And so your customers, your audience, will immediately think, "Ah, okay, I've seen this before. It's the same," because that's all that's on your feed. So what do you
Mm-hmm.
do? Interrupt that pattern to get the attention, because
Uh-huh.
attention is currency. Attention is
Absolutely.
currency. So
Absolutely.
I recommended putting their videos there and talking to their customers. So immediately their viewers, their buyers, their prospects were like, "Oh, this is something new. Let me listen to her." Or
Absolutely.
yeah, it's just something different. Or share a quote, your favorite, your story, your backstory, um, just so people will again understand you and relate to you and see if you share the same values. It's really not all about selling, and I always say that. So that's actually the um, two most sought after sought after courses or
Mm-hmm.
modules that I have. I also have building rapport, etc. I have actually many, and part of the brain science selling. I will explain the brain science selling. So I'm a neuro linguistic programming practitioner. I got my certification in 2018, but I also have 20 years of advertising and marketing experience. When
Mm-hmm.
I took that certification, I was like, oh my God, this is such a powerful tool for sales and marketing. Even then, when I realized, I said, how can I use this? But I was in corporate, and we can only influence so much, and
Right.
I was able to do anything about it. But then also in 2018, I started the business with a friend of mine. It's a local business, so locally made products like this one that I use.
Oh, very cute. Very cute.
So that's when I started digital sales, digital online selling, and that's when I started implementing the thoughts in my head. I'm like, okay, let's do neuro linguistic programming plus my corporate marketing plus the digital. So it's all it's all part of my experience. It's very meta. I don't teach what I don't do because I don't
Right.
have. I
Right.
won't. So that is brain science selling. It is using the neuro linguistic programming concepts in marketing, specifically for digital sales and marketing. So
Uh,
that's what it's about. And when I created, all of those modules, courses, that was also part of the process of listening to your customers,
mm-hmm.
because they would always tell me, they call it me Miss Val. Miss Val, I want to learn how to do this. Miss Val, can you teach us how to do this? So I was just answering or responding to what
Mm-hmm.
people need. And we have to remember that our products, our courses, our services are meant to solve somebody else's problem.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Otherwise, it's a hobby. So if you're
Yeah.
not solving a problem, and so I have a lot of business owners that follow me, and that's one thing I talk about when I'm bringing in, because I do the foundation. So what I do is get them to get the right order of their foundation in place, their infrastructure, and then I pass them on to people like you for marketing, or somebody else for sales, or somebody else for helping them put deeper systems in and those kind of things. So I give them the first rung of introduction of business 101, pretty much. And then after that, I pass them on to an expert like yourself who can take them higher. But what I find is a lot of people don't know who they're selling to. So they're selling to everybody. Like,
Yeah.
especially my little shoe people, I love them. But they always say, well, anybody can do this, or anybody can purchase this. But the truth of the matter, and I know that everybody doesn't like the same things. Like, we all have our preferences. And so when you talk about talking to your customer, it's listening more than anything, listening to them talk about what their needs are, their pain points, or getting an understanding of their voice more so than selling something. Because if you're meeting a problem, it's going to sell themselves because it's providing a service. Absolutely. So I get it. I wish every business owner I knew was on or would watch this so that they can understand and so that they'll reach out to you in order to understand deeper how they can get their sales game, their marketing game on point so they can get more leads, more customers, more dollars on their bottom line.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Yeah.
'cause when I started doing this, and to be, I mean, this is not really bragging, but just sharing that it is possible, especially when you're a new business owner. You have funding issues, you have budget, like for me, for example, I had to upgrade all of my, my computer, ring lights, whatever, everything, as a trainer and coach consultant. So we don't have a lot of budget. Or if you are an e-commerce site owner, you have to give capital for the actual product, so you don't have budget for sales and marketing. But it is actually possible, like what you said, the products will sell themselves, the services will sell themselves if the customer, the buyer, the prospect realizes this is for me. This product is for me. You don't even have to sell it. When I mentioned earlier that I was able to do 190 live paid live trainings last year, I only spent at the end of April 23. I checked my account, my Facebook, ads manager. I only spent $389
Wow.
in advertising.
Wow. That's remarkable.
So
That is remarkable.
because I didn't have to sell it. I didn't really have to do sales. My so say that 389 $389, I mostly spent it for list building, getting people's emails, as well as this is again part of brain science selling. It's social proof. So I mentioned earlier, understanding your customer. I knew they were competitive. I knew that they were protective of their own strategies. So what I did was I got testimonials, and those are the things that I boosted. Those are the things that I created at. So when another real estate practitioner sees that, I'm like, oh, she's training them. What's in her training? And this person, is selling a lot. So
Yeah.
you better get on this, because if not, we'll be left left
Left
running after
behind.
the way.
Absolutely. Chasing customers. And that's the thing, like understanding how to create customer journeys so that you're not one and done. Like people who are selling one and done will never be able to scale their business because they're always going to be chasing customers. So this is about creating a customer journey where you start them at one end of the rung and you take them on the journey. And as they improve, you provide other products and services that they can use in order to better their business. So
Yeah.
yeah, hey Alonzo, thanks for joining us. But yeah, but that's what it's about. It's about trying to understand how to do marketing well, right? It's about getting leads and not chasing customers, attracting customers. It's a
Yeah.
whole different thing. Because if you're answering their pain points, like people are in my in my inbox talking about the PPP, or they're talking about, hey, I have a business idea. What do I do next? Like those two questions are what I get more than anything right in this season. So being able to answer them and provide them with a product or service is how I get customers. It's how I create my products. Rather than a lot of times business owners get stuck on, I dreamed of my business and it has to be the way I dreamed of it, and not really listening to the customer's voice, because the customer's voice will tell you how your business should be designed, right?
Yes. Yes. And in the same way, like we always talk about, brand colors. Something that I realized, because this whole business of mine is really customer centric. Even your brand colors, for example, it's not your favorite color. It's my favorite color is blue, but I cannot insist on that, because I'm not really my target customer. If my target customer is attracted, for example, it just so happened that they're attracted to blue because blue is a color of authority. And that's also
Yes.
how I position myself. But yeah, so for example, if my favorite color was pink, like this, for example, I cannot
It wouldn't
insist
cross
on the
our
color
mind.
pink.
Right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's not about
Exactly.
me.
And that's,
It's not about
yeah.
me.
And so that's the thing is like understanding. I have a new customer I'm dealing with, and we were getting ready to do his logo. Like he's in the trucking. And so, we did red, white, blue, and gray. And those look perfect for his brand that given the emotions and what he wants to do. And so his logo, the first time he saw it, he fell in love. He was like, yeah, because it was the right colors. Each color evokes an emotion. And so
Yeah,
understanding what that is like and what you're trying to convey to your public can help you when you're trying to market. Like
yeah.
people need to see certain colors with certain products. I get it. I cannot tell you how many customers I have who say, "Well, Linda, my favorite color is purple, so I'm gonna make purple everything." And I'm like, "No, please don't do that. Please don't. Do, please don't do that because what they're trying to do is invoke compassion, and purple is just not the color for that. I said, my favorite color is seafoam. It's a blue green or green
Mhm.
blue. It's a bluish green, and so my house is seafoam because that's where I live. But my business, as you can see, I have blue shades of hues of blues and white because that's what I'm trying to convey trust, right? Authority, trust, calming, those kind of things. So you have to think it through. You really do. It's very important. And people just don't get it when it comes to logo and presentation and building your brand.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I think really, brain science selling might sound so technical, but the root and core of it is understanding yourself, understanding how your mind thinks, and understanding how your customer thinks, understanding them. It's all in the brain. It all happens in the brain. It's the logic part of it, the emotional part of it in the limbic brain. What are their pain points, what keeps them up at night, and also the possibility. So in neuro-linguistic programming, we have what we call future pacing. So another strategy, if you can't get their pain points, or you're still trying to really understand, find out what they dream of, what are
Mm,
their desires, how do they see themselves 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 3 years from now, where do they see themselves, how do they look like in that time. So you kind of make them imagine. So I use the
mm,
words, I said in my NLP and copywriting, I use the word imagine a lot, because
mm-hmm.
is it's a command, but it's something that I cannot do for them. It has to be
Absolutely.
their own interpretation of what they imagine their future will
Absolutely.
like. So
Absolutely.
you imagine not paying 70,000 or like hundreds of dollars a month for Facebook ads.
Mm,
Imagine how much savings that will give you. Imagine whatever that can give for your kids, or additional tuition, or whatever. It's future pacing,
mm-hmm.
making them reach that goal or that desire. If the desire is ease, the desire is superiority, the desire is a better life,
Mm-hmm.
ask. And like what I said earlier, ask. You
Yeah. Exactly.
ask. Because it will come from them. And then the words that they use, the actual words when you ask them. So you're on your Facebook, you're on your LinkedIn, or whatever. The words that they use when they answer you, that's what you use for your copy. That's what you use for your ads. Because those are your customers' words that they're not yours. So it will
Absolutely.
resonate more, it will resonate better. So yeah, so that's
Absolutely. That's
another
good
strategy.
stuff. Yeah, that's good stuff because you're speaking in your customer's language. You're speaking in their voice, and so they understand exactly what you're trying to convey. Like if you use their technology, I mean their terminology back to them, it becomes more that it resonates because they can hear. There's I think it was Brian Tracy. It's not Brian Tracy. It's one of the books I've read, so many business books, but one of them talks about racking the shotgun. And it says when you rack the shotgun, the people who knows that sound, they know what it is and they look for it. That's the same thing when you use the language that your customers understand. When you use that language, they look for it because they're like, wait a minute, he's talking about me. Wait a minute, he's talking about me. You know, and so exactly. Like, okay, are you in my closet? How do you know? How do you know this is what's going on with me? But yeah, but exactly. But it's being able, and that's a whole different thing. That is laser focused marketing. Like it's not marketing to everyone because everyone doesn't want your product.
Yes.
You know, I did the math of marketing where you market to 100 people, where 10 of them might be willing to listen to what you're saying, and out of the 10, 1 to 3 is ready to buy. It's out of 100. And so if you're just marketing around, you know, to your friends and family, your little circle, you know, and not going to the World Wide Web. You said 57 million people in the Philippines. I need to, I definitely need to try
every day on Facebook every day.
That is wonderful stuff right there, but I need to cross that over. But exactly, but being able to pull out of that 57 million, those people who are looking, they are searching the web for your product or service. Like how wonderful that is, that people are actually looking.
Correct. So you just have to talk to them and find the right words to reach out to them. You don't need all of the 57 million. You don't need that. You only need enough for your business to really thrive. And these, like for me, for example, I have clients who have, you know, requested for my trainings. Like I've probably done trainings for their team 6 or 7 times this last year. So they just keep on coming. They just keep on coming.
I love it. I love it. That's what you want. So you're not chasing customers. That's exactly what you want. You want people who are in your inbox saying, hey, how can I connect with you? How can I pay you to come serve me? And it is a service. You know, just like you said before, it's not about sales, it's about service. How can you serve? You know, every time somebody's in my inbox, I ask them, how may I serve you? Because that's what it is. It is a privilege to have customers. Like I realized that a long time ago. It's a privilege. It's not, you know, nobody has to buy from you. A lot of times I see people angry on internet saying, nobody's buying my product. Nobody's doing this. And, you know, they're just going down the road because they're not attracting customers. That's not the customer's fault. That's yours. Yeah. That means you're not before enough people. You're not getting yourself out, and you're getting in your own way when you just market to your friends and family. None of us have enough friends and family to support our businesses in the long run. None of us.
Yes.
None of us.
And don't also take it against your family and friends if they don't buy. They're not your market.
I know. Poor grandma, she done gave you her last dime. And you still asking for more. Lord, she can't keep you going. Oh, Granny, I tell you what, she love her grandkids, but baby, she's on a fixed income. She can't keep her business going, you know? And so that's the thing is getting them to understand that the people who will help them scale their businesses are people they don't even know yet.
Yes.
New people. Yeah. Yeah.
So aware of you and aware that your business even exists.
Exactly. You know, in marketing, you hear ADA, you know, the attention, the interest, the desire, and then the action. You know, you hear ADA, and most businesses that I'm looking at, they're not doing ADA. They're not even paying ADA any attention. And that's a proven marketing strategy that's been used over and over for decades and decades, and it still works. Like I was looking at some of Madam C.J. Walker, how she became a millionaire. I was looking at some of her ads, and the same ad copy that she did way back then to become a millionaire is the same ad copy type, you know, the different segments we can use today to build our businesses, but we don't pay attention to what works. And success leaves
Yeah,
clues.
that's why we invent the wheel.
Yeah,
If
yeah,
the wheel still works.
exactly. Proven ways, proven methods of how to market your business successfully. So, can you tell us how we can get in touch with you?
Okay, so I have so right now I'm in the process. As I mentioned, I was the first part, the first year of my business. I was marketing to the 57 million in the Filipinos all over the world. That's all over the world. In fact, last night I had a class, I had training, which was like done in the middle of the night because that was 7 p.m. in Dubai and 7
Oh,
a.m. in the US. So I cater to that market. So now I am in the process of putting myself out there because I realized, a lot of people still do not know these things. We take it for granted because we feel like, shouldn't that be common sense? But it's not. It's really not. So a lot of people, still don't know this. So I'm putting myself out there. I have a website. It's www.Valerie Fischer, FISCHER.net. And I'm
yeah.
also on LinkedIn and on Facebook as Valerie Fischer. When this goes live, so later I will be putting. I have a freebie for everybody. No, don't worry. I don't have an upsell. It's just a freebie. It is actually 5 ways to bootstrap your business
Mm,
using science selling. So you will find out how the 1, 2, 3s of how I was able to book 190. When I wrote the freebie, it was still at 178 at $300. So I will be sharing that in the comments section, both in LinkedIn and on Facebook. So I hope that it helps you with your business, especially the new ones, especially those that are still starting or transitioning from brick and mortar to digital. Because I
mhm.
know I've been there. I know
Hey,
how
hey,
of the budget. So I'm
exactly.
sharing that for to everybody.
But thank you. We do appreciate that. So I'm going to close us out right now. What are your parting comments to any listeners that are just driving in?
Um, it's actually I will go back to my point earlier. When you have a business, when you have a product, a service, a course, or whatever, find out. You have to really look deep within yourself. What are your values, your purpose, your why? Because when you know those things, that's fundamental, that's foundational. And then those things are what will attract your customers, because those values, your characters, your why, your purpose is also what drives your customers. So that
Absolutely.
is one of the ways, one of the, I think, more powerful ways of also understanding your customers and buyers. Who are you? Why are you doing this business? Who is this for? What is your mission? So, and that mission, somebody needs that, and that is how you will find them. That is how they will find you.
Absolutely. Good stuff. That's all good stuff. Absolutely. Mission values. What are your core values? And where are your vision statement? Where are you going with your idea? All of those are very, very important. I do thank you for saying yes to the invitation to come join us on the Business Plus Mixer. We're here every Sunday, most Sundays, every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're bringing fabulous presenters like this one we have tonight. Go ahead and share this on your page. Tag your friends in it. If you have business friends that need some marketing help, please reach out to her. It's Mother's Day. Give your mom a gift. If she owns a business and she's struggling to get that business online, then go ahead and let this be a Mother's Day gift to your mom. I am Linda Murray Bullitt. They call me the business plug. And I just plugged you into Valerie Fischer, who's using brain science to help you to sell. Thank you all for joining this week. And Valerie, if you'll hold on, I'll see you guys next week. Next week, we have another great presenter. We have I said Congress. Oh, listen to that. But it's Councilwoman Demetrius Coonrod is going to be my guest next Sunday at 7 o'clock p.m. You're going to learn how she went to having a criminal record starting out to cleaning all that up. And now she's in her terms running as a city council person. So you're going to want to tune in next Sunday, 7 o'clock p.m. here on LinkedIn and on Facebook Live. You guys, we'll see you next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.